So you want to get an education? Well, it's probably a great default thing to do anytime in your life, to keep learning. And I'm sure you went, if it's college you're trying to get in higher education, I'm sure you went to Google and put in like scholarships, or you put in grants for college. Well, here, I just did a few seconds ago, and you get 123 million websites for scholarships. 123 million, okay, and 177 million for grants for college. So stay away from that now, because what you're going to get, most of those people are people that want your name to sell your name to somebody, and they're going to go to people who are going to call you on the phone and pester you forever, because they're going to say how easy it is to pay for this you want to do and all that kind of stuff. You don't want to get caught up in any of that. So there's a lot of don'ts. I mean, to me, if you're looking for money for college or whatever, there's a million things you do. Actually, there's 177 million things you could do. But, it's what not to do, I feel, that is more important. And the first thing is, don't use Google, because you're going to get tied up in people there that are going to promise you the moon, the stars, and a career for the rest of your life, and a millionaire and everything, as long as you send them money, and you don't want to do that. Now, the other thing you don't want to do, first, this is the first thing, don't forget your state government. That's the biggest thing that people miss when they're looking for money for school. Every state has a bunch of money programs that give to people who want to go to higher education. You don't have to be 17, you can be 70 or 170. They can't age discriminate. I mean, there's a few that you have to be a high school senior or something. But they have, a lot of money there, and a lot of it goes on you. In my state, now we're a sophisticated state. Maryland was where I live. There was $17 million that was not applied for. That's right. So if you're looking for higher education money for anything, that's the first thing you do, is you go to your state government to see what they have. And the other thing to do is go to the school that you're going to, because you don't want to forget that. They have so many scholarships. If you've already chosen a school or thinking about choosing a school, get to know their money first, because they don't give out all they have too. Man, I have a scholarship at a local community college up here. It's called I Don't Need My Government Money Scholarship. They don't even give all the money. And so I beat on them. And they went to dinner for me and all this kind of stuff. And they didn't give away a fraction of the money. And my God, it does me no good. It does you no good. It does student. So that's why you have to bang on the college that you're going to, and make sure you make a special appointment with a person in charge of the money, the foundation, or whatever the heck it is at the college. So there are the things you do. You don't forget your state, and you don't forget the college that you're going to attend to. Because otherwise you'll be pouring through those 177 million websites, and you don't want to do that. The other thing to do is don't forget 211. Call 211, because 211 is your local clearinghouse, where you are. And by the way, I have, in the report, I give you the link for your state, and I'm giving you the link for 211, because online it's a different 211. But when you could call 211 in any part of the world, country here, and find nonprofits that will help. Now, if you're higher education, you're looking for scholarships, because these are all nonprofits that give out money and help for people to get training or scholarships or go to college, things like that. So see what kind of help are in the local nonprofit organizations. Because that's another thing, don't forget. Don't forget your local library. Man, these reference librarians know. See, the easiest way to get college money, I think, instead of going to the 177 million websites, is what's local, because that's where you have a better chance at than anything. And your local librarian will know scholarships in the area. So if the local Kiwanis Club or the local county cooperative extension service, they have scholarships. So it just takes a walk in the local reference librarian. It takes a phone call to their online service or whatever it is. They're all very helpful. So they're the don'ts now, the 3 don'ts I'm talking about. Don't forget your state, don't forget 211, and don't forget your library. Also, don't forget your local career One Stop Career Center. This is the Department of Labor office that is in your community. They're all over the world. I give you, I mean, all over the United States. I give you the link for where you live here in the report. So click on that link, make an appointment, because they have money for training. Say you need just a few, you just need a degree, a course or two to possibly you're short of a degree by just a course or two. They have money to pay for that. People don't look at that. Or you need training money. You just want to know some skill or something. You don't want a 4-year degree. That's the place to get that, because you're going to put $8,000 at that. And I'll give you the link there for where the link is in your stuff. So that's the thing. So you don't want to get tied up in because you get in Google and it'll take you 2 weeks of fooling around in there. Most of the people you get there are people that are going to sell you money, sell you something or whatever, get money for you. What I want to show you how to do is people and organizations that give money for free. They're not selling you anything, see, and you can't find them in Google because they don't advertise. They're not spending money to make sure you see them and make sure they're on the front page and things like that, because that takes resources. Google is real estate, and they're going to sell to the best people who spend the most money to get there. Okay, another thing to don't get a loan if you don't have to, man. I mean, that's a most thing. I mean, because people are graduating from college now, $20, $30, $40, $60,000 in debt, $100,000 in debt. Man, and the average, actually, I was just looking at data recently. Recent college graduates, something like 40% of them are making less than $25,000 a year. Less than $25,000, and they have debt on an average of $40,000 a year. So this is crazy what we're doing. And see, then you're going to have to take a job, just to pay that debt, and you're going to be in jail. That's like debtor's prison. You got to pay some bank off for their loan, and so you got to accept some lousy job you're going to hate, because you have to pay that debt off. So there's ways around it. It's going to take some effort, but there are options. You don't want to get caught, in this trap of debt and dragging that around and make your life miserable for 10 years. People now have this stuff for 30 years. If you do get debt, remember, get government-backed debt. Don't get the private stuff. And I have a link there that shows you the difference and why you don't want government. See, the government stuff, they have ways to get out of it, and they're more lenient. Man, you get, Bank of America or somebody like that, loan. Don't worry, because they love giving money to people in college, because they'll come after you to die. Man, I interviewed a young woman who had a brain tumor. She's dying, within 6 months, and they were coming after her for her money. It's just ridiculous, So that's why there's ways now in if you have a federal government subsidized loan that you don't have to pay if you don't make a lot of money. They forgive some of it, and all this. There's ways around that. So remember, don't get a loan, but if you have to, don't get a private one, and look how to do it. Also, don't go to a for-profit school. You see these schools that advertise or whatever, and that's why when you go on the internet and put in your name somewhere, it's going to go to one of these for-profit schools. They're going to call you. They're going to say they're your best friend, and this is so easy, and all you have to do is get a loan to come to them. And the data, there's just so much data now that shows they're not worth the money. They're scamming you. 90% of their money comes from you getting government money to pay them. Very little. They spend very little on academics versus a normal college. They'll spend most of their money on academics. These people are spending it on marketing and just trying to get money out of you. It's the worst deal, particularly if you're a vet. They have special people that go out and get vets to make the vets get a loan so they could get money and give it to the school, and the success rate is very low. There are options for that. So don't go to a for-profit school. Also, don't forget your community college. Man, these community colleges are wonderful. They have, for $1,000, $1,500 in tuition, you could go to school, and it's also maybe for a year or 2 years or even 6 months, you get a certificate of some kind that makes you employable, like in the healthcare profession. You can go to a year or two and start a career at $30,000, $40,000, just like that, and not have to get a 4-year degree and start making $25,000 or less. So that's right. Call your local community college, and don't just call. Walk down, ride, take a bus, take an Uber, whatever. Go to your community college and just walk into counselors and say, hey, help me choose something, that could, increase my income, because they're getting grants even to get people, in certain professions that we need people in, so it won't cost you as much, and there's other ways to pay for it, and plus it's the cheapest deal in town. So if you still want a 4-year degree, go there for 2 years, at least, and then you don't have to worry about it. Then you worry about the next 2 years and getting that done. And also, you want to think nowadays, too, whether you want a degree. Everybody says degree, too, and they show you data why you work more money and all that kind of, but things are changing, and that's why we need a lot of degrees. And now we need skills. So you really have to think hard about, is it skills you want or is it degree? Some jobs you need degrees. See, to work in large organizations, that's what it is. It's a training organization, and they want a degree because, I don't know, it's just easier to choose. But it does nothing about your skills or background. It's a silly way of keeping score, but that's the way it is. You want to play that game, so you may need a degree. But less and less jobs are becoming that way. There's more in the gig economy and other ways that don't require a degree, that just require skills. And that's another place at your community college to talk about skills. Okay. Also, don't forget, don't assume all colleges are expensive. Look around. I give you a link here to 40 ways to pay for education and training that you don't know about. I mean, there's options. You go around, you talk to your friends. Most people go to college because they're trying to impress their friends. I went to this big name school, or trying to impress their parents or whatever. And you see data, that 30 years after you graduate, it makes no difference at all what college you went to on your success level in life. And it's keeping up with the Joneses stuff that we've got into, and it's a terrible game, and I think we're going to change it soon. And that's important. And there are colleges free. Look in that 40 list of 40 educational and training programs there. There's a wonderful university. It's called University of the People. It's free and it's nonprofit. It's accredited. You can go to Berkeley and be transferred there if you want, or whatever. It's a very high-powered school, but it's free. See, somebody's figured this out. You don't have to pay 40 grand a year. And there you could get a health science degree, you get a business degree or computer degree, and even an MBA. And I spoke to this, I'll show you a video of the guy who started the school. They're on the board of directors. There's very credentialed people and everything. And also University of Arizona. I mean, they have an online course too. I think it's like 10 grand a year. That's it. And that's a big name school. The guy who runs that university now used to be, I think, the head of the university in one of the big Ivy League schools. Now he's going there trying to make things affordable. We put this thing out of price for people, and also ways to look at. Starbucks will pay $10,000 a year, for you to go while you're making coffee. So there's ways to pay for education that is, just not as obvious, and so don't be going with everybody else does, and you assume college is expensive. It doesn't have to be. Actually, I give you another list or two here that even if you want to go overseas, if you want to get a 40-year degree, man, go to Paris, go to Germany, the EU and what's going on in Europe now and in England and everything. Well, in England, I mean, the European company, all those companies are they have 20 languages or something. They're all trying to teach all their courses in English. So you, as an American speaking English, could go to Paris and go to the Sorbonne, all in English, and they'll charge you $1,000 a year. That's not even being a French citizen, not even being a UK citizen. Germany's like that. Denmark, they're just a fraction of what we pay here. It's crazy, what we're doing in this country. People, get trapped into this college stuff in the United States, and they can't get a good job, and they have a whole bunch of debt, and it's silly. So that's another thing. And also, don't forget, while you're in college, don't forget about the shared economy. Now it's easier to make money. You don't have to make money by delivering pizza for some guy. You can make so much more money being Uber or getting rid of the extra clothes in your closet and things. And I give you 46 ways to make extra money on the internet with no boss, no experience, no cash, no nothing. It's just wonderful what's going on, in our country of easier ways to make money. You want to be a dog walker? Well, there's a website, millions of people that come in every day looking for dog walkers. So if you're on that website, it costs you nothing. And they take care of the accounting, they take care of the insurance, all this kind of stuff. So it's not like, having to be a full-fledged business yourself. No, but you get customers like that. You work only when you want to. That's what's so neat. It's like working with no boss. Another thing I put in here too is the 25 best government grants, and services for your state. So if you have trouble with paying bills, you have trouble, making a mortgage or a rent payment or anything, who you could turn to help pay that. Utility bills or missing money that you didn't know you had. All these services, they're all listed for your state right there. And you can download that book right there, and that's the way to do all this. Way to get started. Remember that it's not easy. Just don't Google scholarships and think that's it. Go to these places first. Check them out. Go to your state, go to 211, go to the library. Locally, we give you all the links right there in the report for you to check on. Check all them first to see your options in life. Life is all about options. If you don't know your option, you're going to take the only thing that you think is best right there. So if some guy calls you on the phone and says, don't worry, you don't have to pay the back, for 10 years, and you don't know your options, you're going to say yes because you want that degree. And what I'm trying to do is show you options so you have other ways. You can get a degree online for free by one of the most reputable universities in the world, but you won't know about them, but you're not going to know about the guy who's going to charge you 30 grand because he's getting a hell of a lot of commission if he signs you up.